Hello, this is video for day 19. Trying to speak a bit softly since I'm at a campground and I think pretty much everyone else is asleep. But wanted to do this ride report at the end of the night, so. I guess I'll start off with just like a recap. So left Ames this morning, and then want to thank Trevin for waking up pretty much. He asked me when I was going to wake up, and so he woke up a little bit before to make some breakfast, like eggs and potatoes and coffee, so it was really nice of him. I've just been pretty amazing, how much people are willing to help out. Because I think it's I'm riding across the country, and it's kind of selfish in the sense that I'm doing it for myself only. So people just seem to think it's really amazing and want to help out. I think it's overly nice. But anyways, we talked a bit this morning about routes, and they decided on one. And then headed out. Kind of took a while to get ready. Just taking it slow. And I kind of planned this whole day to be kind of a slow day to rest and recover a little bit from yesterday, while still riding. But that wasn't really the case. I ended up, as you can see at this campsite, it's everyone's asleep. I'm talking softly. It's dark. It's a little bit past midnight. I'm actually pretty tired. So kind of left Ames late this morning. I stopped by a bike shop on my way out because my fender was rattling, so I wanted to get that fixed. And then I also got the third bottle cage zip tied to my top tube. Kind of triathlon style. And that's working alright. Except I kind of bump the bottle with my thighs or crotch sometimes, but I can live with that. Rather have a third bottle anyway. So took a really slow pace to get to the first major city. There are 3 two-way points on my route today. So I started in Ames and I wanted to go to Marshalltown first, and then Waterloo, and then the campsite here. So kind of took my time to get to Marshalltown, and I figured I would pick up the pace once I got afterwards. Let's see. In Marshalltown, I also had the tension in my saddle adjusted, so now that feels a bit better. And I had my chain checked as well. Apparently my chain is pretty shot and needs to be replaced after 2 weeks of riding. The mechanic actually recommended that just keep riding, and then just replace it once I'm done crossing the country. He thinks it will last until then. So I guess I might do that, or maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll change it to Madison or something. So let's see. Got lunch, got coffee. The coffee place was called Brew House, or the Brew House, and it's pretty annoying. I ordered a double espresso, and the guy didn't make it after I ordered it, so I don't know what he was doing, what his job entails, if he's just a cashier and he doesn't make coffee or something. But pretty much all you have to do nowadays is push a button. So I kind of was sitting around, and someone came up and asked me if I was waiting for something, and I told them I was waiting for my espresso. So that was pretty annoying to have to wait like 10 minutes after ordering. Let's see. Yeah, I continued on. Yeah, today I was going like kind of slow and lazy, but I also felt really sleepy, and I don't know if it's just like I'm not getting enough sleep overall. If I'm gonna need more than like 6 hours a day, 7 hours a day or something. Or if it's just that I've been writing too much recently, but I really wanted to take a nap. And I was actually planning to like just take a nap on the side of the road, kind of, after covering 100 kilometers or so. But what ended up happening is, Google Maps, you ask for bike directions in Iowa, ends up putting you on like pretty much every gravel and dirt road it can find. So if there's like a regular paved road and next to it is a gravel road, it'll just put you on the gravel road. And, sometimes that's cool. Today it was not. All the gravel was alright, I guess. I did quite a bit of gravel. I like off-roading. I'd say at least 10%, which is, it's a lot when you're not expecting it. But there's one section that was like a dirt road. And I guess I probably should have thought it through and known better. But it had rained like a few days ago, and quite a bit. I mean, it was thunderstorming in Nebraska, and they got like a lot of rain up in Iowa too. But yeah, when I started on the dirt road, it was dry and like hard. But kind of as I was getting into it, it became like softer and softer, and I sank in. And I just got like a ton of mud in between my tires and my fender, and so much that like my front wheel would not turn. And it was pretty much like, pretty hard to get out. Or get out the mud that was stuck in between. So I ended up having to like walk my bike across the dirt road up to the first house I found, where I like rang the doorbell, and this old lady answered, and she was nice enough to let me use her hose to kind of like spray down my bike. So I sprayed off enough so that the wheels were moving again, but I'm pretty sure I didn't clean it completely, so I should do that tomorrow morning, because I definitely like finished like near the end of the ride today. I was feeling like changing resistance, so once I'm like just gotten a lot weaker, it's there's something still there between the tire and fender, so I guess I'll have to check tomorrow morning. But yeah, I kind of continued with the route after that. Went through Waterloo, had dinner there, and then it's also kind of like weird, because I chatted briefly with this couple that was sitting next to me, and mentioned I was going from Waterloo to here, Backbone State Park, and they wanted to get to the park before closing, so like it officially closes at 10. We were having dinner, it was around 7. And then I was like, I think I'm gonna get there afterwards. And she's like, why is that? It's not that far, because it's like 50 miles or whatever. 80 kilometers, 50 miles. And, I told her, I think I'm gonna be finishing dinner and probably won't head out until 8. So, to do 50 miles in 2 hours, that's, like a super fast pace. Like, not something I'm really capable of, and like, that's pretty much like what pros average. So, it's kind of weird when you talk to people who are like, oh yeah, that's possible, that should be possible. But, anyways, so I ended up riding in the dark, unfortunately. Like, I don't do it too often, and I'm trying not to. Like, I don't really enjoy it that much. Mainly because like I have much limited visibility, even though I have lights. Like really can't see as much as I can during the day. So I mean, like doing it in Nevada the first time was out of necessity, kind of. But yeah, I try to avoid it, and maybe I should either just like start getting on the road earlier, or just plan some shorter days. But yeah, there's like a gravel section, at the end of the night as well, right before I got to the state park, and I'm always like afraid. I mean, like I can get a flat tire anywhere, but I'm afraid just like riding gravel will make it more likely, and I definitely don't want to be, changing a tire when it's like dark and tired and it's getting cold and that kind of stuff. But made it into the park eventually. Went to there's 2 campsites here. So went to the first, or campgrounds, went to the first one, which turns out to be like a primitive campground with no showers. And it turned out like the next one, the one I'm staying at, with showers. It's like a bit further off, so 4 miles, 7 kilometers or so, with like a big climb up a hill. So, like, started heading out of the first campground, and like was going to just start riding over here, and then the park ranger ran into him, and we chatted a bit, and he asked me if I wanted a ride, so he gave me one to this campground, and put me in this like youth group campsite because all the other ones were full. So really thankful to him. Actually, I don't think I got his name, but probably see him tomorrow. Yeah, and then I got here, started setting up my tent, and yeah, and went across like to the next campsite to ask if I could. It was like a big group of people around the fire, and I asked if they had like a mallet I could borrow. So they ended up giving me like a mini hammer, and then asked me what I was doing and that kind of stuff, and then started asking me like a bunch of questions once I told them I was like riding across the U.S. and I'd started from Ames this morning, because I think Ames is like, well, I mean, it was, according to the Garmin, it did 240 kilometers today, so that's like 140, 150-ish miles. But yeah, they didn't really have time to answer all the questions because I was like setting up my bivy sack and then wanted to take a shower. I guess one of the like dads asked me if I had eaten, and he like gave me some food, just wolfed them. Because yeah, I mean I ate, had like dinner, I guess, in what's it called, Waterloo, but just only bought a couple snacks to eat along the ride, and just was not planning on the ride to be so difficult, take so long. So didn't really have much to eat in terms of like post-ride stuff. So that was really nice of him, and I didn't get his name, so hopefully I can do that tomorrow morning. I think like he and their whole group went to sleep, like when I was taking a shower. But, one of the guys like asked me how much I've covered, like with distance, and I think it's 3,700 kilometers so far. So in terms of miles, what is that, like 2,400 or something, 25 roughly? I don't know. But yeah, so I'm pretty tired. Like I assumed today would be a lot easier because there's like a lot less hills, weather was nice, distance was much lower than yesterday. Well, 290 versus 250 and 240, so I mean it was lower. So I was expecting it to be just like an easier ride, not have too much difficulty, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm like, either I really suffer after a 300-kilometer ride, like getting into Omaha was hard. Or maybe it's just like I've been pushing myself too much, kind of in a, but it's also like kind of in a way like where I'm not exactly, it's not completely obvious because like my muscles don't feel that tired in the morning. Like today just felt kind of lazy, and it could push myself to like ride the same speed I did before, like yesterday, but it took a lot more mental effort. Like it seems like physically I could probably do it, but yeah, so really looking forward to getting to Madison tomorrow. Probably going to have a late start just because I have to clean up everything, pack up everything. And probably like chat with some people for a bit. Like the other campsite and the park ranger. And I'll need to ask for directions since my roaming does not work here. So yeah, so hopefully I get to Madison like at a reasonable time. I mean, I should. I'm hoping that I'll feel better since I didn't ride super far today, and try to get enough sleep. But yeah, just actually really looking forward to taking a day off, since I haven't really done that since day 3, which was unplanned and kind of like way too early to actually take a day off. So for it to be effective. Yeah, taking the day off will give me some time to not only recover, but kind of plan the rest of my route. Probably try to keep the distances a bit lower, just so like I can kind of finish all the rides within a reasonable amount of time, like still have time for dinner and that kind of thing. But we'll see. Pretty much only got planned to Madison, and then the next day after, the next riding day would be like an early morning ride to Milwaukee to catch the ferry, because I believe that's 140 kilometers, and then another stretch once the ferry lands into Grand Rapids. So I'll have to try to get a host for that, and then the day after that would be Grand Rapids to Ann Arbor to visit Steven. So yeah, that's what I've got planned so far. Other than that, still enjoying the trip. Like, a lot to see, and it's been pretty interesting talking to people and that kind of stuff. Like meeting a lot of people. And like, yeah, kind of, I think the Midwest is actually pretty awesome, and wouldn't mind spending some more time here in the future. So yeah, especially when I'm not touring, so I'll have time to look around and spend time in like the cities, Omaha, actually go into Des Moines and that kind of stuff. But yeah, we'll see if that happens. I hope so, but you never really know what's gonna happen in the future. So this video is getting kind of long, and I'm starting to ramble, so I should go to sleep. So go enjoy the rest of your day or whatever you're doing. Bye.